So my husband is back after being gone on a deployment for about 7 months, and the kids are just super excited and everything went really well. I didn't get to film as much as I wanted to during the actual homecoming, and when my husband came in and we all kind of like ran to meet him, it was just me filming, and at that point the baby was really tired. About 10 minutes before they came into the hangar, she kind of started to want to fall asleep, and so she was getting really squirmy. I didn't have the stroller with me because I knew that he was going to have a lot of bags and luggage and things like that, so the stroller wouldn't have fit in the car, and so it was really difficult to kind of hold the baby and, you know, keep her from wanting to get down on the floor and roll around and film at the same time. So I was able to snap a couple of quick pictures, but that was basically it for the actual homecoming. Honestly, you're really not missing much of anything. It is honestly just a bunch of people waiting around, waiting for their loved ones to come home. So, you know, there's really not much to see there anyway. Let's see. It was really interesting, I think, waiting, because there was such a variety of military wives waiting for their spouses to come home. Well, I shouldn't just say wives. There were husbands there too, waiting for their wives or girlfriends to come off the deployment too. But it was just really interesting to, you know, sit and hear and see who, you know, is kind of a long-term military spouse and those who are the newcomers. It's just very interesting. I think that those of us who have been through this so many times are just like, all right, like, just let's get them in, we're ready to go home, wrap this up. You know, we've been through it so many times, like we know the deal, we know the drill, and we're just used to it. And honestly, like, even our kids, my kids have been through this so many times that at this point, they're kind of the same way. They're like, okay, like, we go, we're getting dad, like, no big deal. Like, they miss him, of course, and they love him, and, you know, they're ready for him to come home, and they're eager for him to come home, but they're just used to him being gone. So it's a huge difference compared to the wives or husbands who maybe are just going through this for the first time, and they're like, you know, I heard a couple people saying like, oh, I feel like I'm gonna be sick, and oh, I just like can't wait, and they're just like so smitten, and maybe it's like the first time that they have been away from their spouse for such a long time. And I shouldn't be laughing, it's really not funny, but I feel like you get so used to it that part of it just kind of goes away. You just kind of get used to it. You do what you have to do. You do take on the job of, you know, both parents for the deployment, and, you know, be happy when they, you know, when they come home. It's like great, and back to business. So, all right, Kenzie, I need you to get dressed because today is
Daddy.
Pick Up Daddy Day.
You have to pick him up, or is he coming to us?
We're gonna pick him up, okay? All right. Logan. Logan. Where are you? Today is Get Daddy Day. Are you ready?
Is it 8 o'clock?
Oh, it's time. We gotta go get Daddy, okay?
Oh, it's not. It's 8 o'clock.
It's not 8 o'clock, but we have to go get Dad, okay? Hey, Sleepy McGee. Come on. Dad's coming home today. Back to bed.
Get me tomorrow.
Hey, baby goose. Arlie's gonna sort of meet her dad today. I mean, he was there when she was born, but he hasn't seen her in 7 months. It's been 7 months. So she doesn't really know who he is. So today is gonna be really interesting, right? We're gonna go see Dada? Yeah. Yeah. Oh boy, we're gonna meet him. Yeah. All right, baby goose. Yeah. I was very surprised by the baby's reaction to my husband. And I have to say that if I'm being 100% honest, it was very bittersweet. She just took to him immediately. And there was like that one part of me that was so happy that she took to him so easily, because she is with me. I stay home with her. I'm a stay-at-home mom. And so she is not the baby that will just go to anybody. She will freak out. She screams. She does not like being handed off to, even like a friend who I know, but she doesn't know. She does not like that. She will cry. She wants mommy. She knows my daughter. My daughter's here all the time, Kensington, but there's even times like if she's upset or something, she just wants mom. So I was very surprised that she just went to my husband just like that without any problem at all. I mean, at first she did kind of like give me a little look like, is this okay? But that was it. No crying, no nothing. Not since he's been home the entire time. He has gotten her up from naps. She's been totally fine. And I'm not gonna lie, it's a little heartbreaking because I feel like she's like, oh, like, I'm good. Like, I don't need you anymore. And I know that that's like crazy to think, obviously like she still loves me. She's still very attached to me. But after bonding with her and being alone with her for 7 months, I definitely feel like it's very bittersweet, and I'm not quite sure how I feel about it. Again, I'm so glad that she's taken to my husband because he has missed her so, so much. And it would have been very sad if she, didn't want to go to him and she cried. But at the same time, I think a little piece of my heart broke. But I'm really happy that they're back and, they're, having that bond again together. So, are you guys getting excited? You excited, Logan? You ready, Kenzie?
Yes.
Yeah?
I'm freezing.
Are you excited? They have no idea who Daddy is. No, I don't.
He's right behind us.
If I had to give any advice to any, new couples or, new spouses going through a military homecoming, I would definitely say to make sure that you're taking time for yourself, make sure that you're communicating, make sure that you're, kind of like meeting each other's needs and checking in on each other, like, how are you doing? And, is everything going okay on your end? And just making sure, like, do you need anything? And just being there to support each other, making sure that, like if you have kids, that you're on the same page and keeping everything kind of like as consistent and normal as possible, because homecoming can definitely be really stressful. So if anybody is watching this, I hope that that advice maybe helps somebody out there. If something is going to go wrong, it's going to go wrong. And I think my advice for that is that, what? Shit can get fixed, okay? Google it, YouTube it, it can get fixed. Like, I, at this point, like, don't even stress out anymore about stuff that's going to happen. On a prior deployment, I remember my son, he was probably about 3, decided that it would be a really super fantastic idea. Now remember, he has since been diagnosed with ADHD, and at the time he was not, but we definitely suspected something. Anyway, he decided it would be like the best idea, and like this was so cool that he would use the towel rack in our rented house as a jungle gym. And so, of course, like what happened, it broke out of the wall and left a giant gaping hole in the wall. Guess what? It can be fixed. You can spackle that up. You can get some matching paint, and that can get fixed. There was another deployment when, again, my son decided, super fantastic idea, while I was in the other room to get a basketball and throw it around the house. And he sure did break a light fixture that was like part of our fan in the ceiling. Guess what? A little trip to Lowe's and new light fixture. This deployment, totally my fault. I had turned on the wrong burner. I was cooking on the stove and I accidentally turned on the wrong burner, and I realized it, and I'm like, oh my God, like an empty pot was getting, totally burned. And my instinct was to just get it off the stove, and I stuck it on the counter by accident. Let me tell you, Corian can burn, okay? It burned like a white spot, 2 white spots on my counter. You can fix that. Know what you can do? You get some piece of sandpaper and you can buff that out. That can get buffed out and it looks good as new. So that can get fixed. Also this time, the puppy scratched a little piece of the wall. Again, spackle and some paint, that can get fixed. My husband left, and we live in a really warm climate, and we really didn't have any winter this year. And oh my gosh, like I don't know what the difference is between the grass in my backyard and the grass in my front yard. But the grass in my backyard, it gets like a jungle out there really, really fast. And I'm gonna tell you right now, I am not opposed to doing any kind of manual labor. Like I have no problem going out there and mowing the lawn. The problem is I have severe, and I'm talking like major severe allergies to grass and pollen. Like in the past I have tried, I'm like, you know what, I can do this. And I've done it too many times where I've gone and I've mowed the lawn and I have literally been sick in bed for 3 to 4 days like I had the flu. Like my body's response to allergens like grass and pollen is just absolutely insane. And I'm sorry, but this deployment, I've got not just the 2 older kids, but I've got the baby too, and mama can't go down. So you know what you can do for that? You look in your phone book and you dial the number of a lawn maintenance person and you just suck it up and you have them come one time, get the lawn mowed. That can be taken care of as well. Let's see, I'm trying to think if anything else has gone wrong this deployment. I don't know, I'm sure it has, but anything can be fixed. You just gotta take it in stride. Remember, it's not the end of the world if something goes wrong. You can fix it, you can get through it. You can get through it, you take a little walk, do a little yoga, have a glass of wine if you need to. Do what you have to do, take your me time. Remember that's so important, is taking that me time. When your kids go to bed, if you need to binge watch your favorite show, I don't know, read a book, do whatever you gotta do. Get your me time in, you can get through it. All right, I hope you liked this video. If you did, please don't forget to subscribe. Hit that subscribe button right now. Hit the subscribe button. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it. Leave a comment. If you've gone through a deployment, maybe you have suggestions for somebody, that would be wonderful too. If you have any questions, you can leave them below. And I hope you have a great rest of your weekend.